matter deserves very, very serious and urgent investigation to make sure that similar incident does not occur in the future.
Upset over the shabby treatment of Super Eagles in Libya, House of Representatives calls for investigation.
It is the determination of the government to ensure that we bring to conclusion this agreement.
Federal government inaugurates yet another committee on the 2009 agreement with ASU.
I believe that we are going to turn the corner. We are already beginning to see signs of that. Reforms all over the world.
Towards promoting Nigeria's image nationally and globally, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations unveils Reputation Management Group. Good evening and welcome to the Network News on NTA. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Hingino John Adams will be reading from Lagos. Our busy businessman, Benny Adams, has the latest from the business arena. Benny?
Well, headline inflation rises marginally, but no cause for alarm as the economy is on course.
Of course, no cause for alarm. For sporting stories, Bade Adeleye will bring us up to speed. Now, Bade, since the game between Libya and Nigeria has been postponed, so what next?
Well, the matter has been referred to the appropriate CAF committee to investigate and take their decision. But the Nigerian authorities are warning that they will not accept any shifting of the goalpost. And of course, CAF knows that the entire football community, is watching.
All right, that's good to know. Don't forget to follow this newscast live on our website, nt.ng/live, NT News Now on X, and other social handles displayed on the screen. And do endeavor to subscribe to all our channels. Now, the news. Pending the outcome of investigations by the Confederation of African Football into Super Eagles' ill treatment in Libya, Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugar, who received the NFF President Ibrahim Musa Gusau in his office, says henceforth the ministry will ensure briefing on current situation of any host country before traveling. Garba Natala reports.
Apart from reactions condemning Super Eagles' ordeal in Libya, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, also says it is investigating the unacceptable situation. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugar warmly received the NFF President Ibrahim Musa Gusau and narrated their ordeal when they were held in that country.
We also tried to make an effort to see how we can get out and see how we can move ourselves to even have something to eat, but that was not accepted by the authorities that were meant to stay and put us under that hostage.
It's unfortunate, but it means also that we have to work closely together with the NFF.
It took diplomatic efforts made by the minister for the Libyan authorities to release players and officials to depart.
We had to engage with the foreign minister of the eastern side of Libya, and I believe it was only after that engagement that we were able to get concrete action and results.
Now, awaiting the decision of the Confederation of African Football after an investigation in regards to their unplayed match, the Nigerian team's fate is hanging in the balance whether they will qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has asked the federal government to invite the Libyan ambassador to Nigeria as it seeks explanation over the humiliating treatment experienced by the Super Eagles by the Libyan Football Federation. This followed a motion of urgent public importance moved on the floor of the House. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikmin reports on this and other resolutions at Tuesday's plenary.
Many are yet to come to terms with the maltreatment of Nigeria's Super Eagles by the Libyan authorities prior to the return leg of the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. The House condemned the embarrassment of the Nigerian team and called for an investigation.
Despite diverting the flight to a small airport with little or no amenities, The Libyan authority did not allow the team to get out of the airport or move to their hotel. No access to internet, no food. The airport was cordoned and they were held hostage for 18 hours.
This for me is an embarrassment, not only for the team, Nigerians, and also Africans. This matter deserves very, very serious and urgent investigation to make sure that similar incident does not occur in the future.
In another development, the House sought lasting solutions to the periodic release of water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon.
Mandate the Federal Minister of Water Resources and Federal Minister of Works to expedite the completion of the Dasin Hausa Dam in Adamawa State, which will act as a buffer and help to absorb excess water released from Lagdo Dam and rehabilitation of critical infrastructure in flood-prone areas.
Also note the recent flooding in Sokoto State, which resulted in the destruction of Sokoto, Goranyo, Sabon Birni, and Niger border roads.
Another motion highlights the dilapidation of federal highways as lawmakers advocate increased allocation to the Federal Road Maintenance Agency.
Allocate 20% of the Ministry of Works budget to enable Federal Road Maintenance Agency to function effectively.
The House passed 3 bills, including a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Education Special in Duku, Gombe State. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
To other news, Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged the newly appointed Board of Directors of the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority to diversify the nation's investment portfolio in order to support key sectors of the economy. He gave the charge during a meeting with the Board of Directors of the NSIA, outlining the administration's vision for the authority drawing comparison with more established sovereign wealth funds. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Acknowledging Nigeria's late entry into the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Vice President Kashim Shettima stressed the need to support the real economy, particularly highlighting the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority's role in agricultural revitalization, assuring the Board of Tinubu administration full support in achieving national aspirations, emphasizing the critical need for teamwork.
We have been supporting the nation in our agricultural revitalization efforts. We are part of the success story, especially in bringing in agricultural inputs. I want you to sustain that tempo, and ours is a young nation. The average age of the Nigerian nation is 16.9. 70% are below the age of 30. Plans are in the pipeline by the federal government to establish a youth entrepreneurship investment bank, all geared towards assisting our youth to be gainfully employed. It's going to be a bank by the youth, for the youth.
Chairman of the board commended the effort of the federal government, particularly members of the National Economic Council, saying they treasure the confidence the council has reposed in the board.
The Sovereign Fund is a fund that is set up for a number of reasons. One, to provide support to government during volatility. The second reason is to provide savings for the future generation. And we're also here to catalyze additional investment for various sectors of the economy. We've done this very, very well. So we intend to continue doing this, make sure we protect the sovereign wealth of this country, to be sure that when we all live, our children's wealth is protected, our children's wealth is protected. That's what we have to do.
What is next after this meeting is the submission of the last audit accounts to the National Economic Council with the intent to work with the principles of the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
To drug reduction and demand, Senate wants the fight against drug abuse to be taken a notch higher as it seeks the establishment of a National Institute for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the proposed legislation passed second reading after intense debates.
Opinions were divided during debate on general principles of the bill.
The establishment of the institute is informed by the high record of substance abuse in Nigeria.
It is very important to the extent that drug abuse affects every sector of the society.
My worry is that we are spending so much money on overhead.
Most of the existing laws are more of arresting, taking punitive measures, and they say prevention is better than cure.
It will not serve the purpose for which it is intended.
Some legislators suggested that the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency could rather be strengthened to make it more effective in the fight against the menace of drug abuse.
If actually we want to end drug trafficking in Nigeria, we should make drug trafficking a capital offense.
We have a practice here to always allow bills to go further, to allow for proper scrutiny.
Another bill that passed second reading after eliciting diverse views in the Red Chamber is the bill to establish a Nigerian Coast Guard to secure maritime zones.
There is no marine and blue economy without Coast Guard. Suffice also to say that all the countries with the best navy, they have Coast Guards.
Is an initiative that, if it is done, will complement what the Navy and other security agencies are doing.
The first people that will apprehend smugglers will be the coastal guards.
Annually, we lose 35 billion to illegal fishing.
We need to be extremely very careful on matters that has to do with national security. It's a lot more than we are seeing.
Away from plenary, the special advisor to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate, Bashir Lado, has urged heads of ministries, departments and agencies to honor invitations from Parliament.
It remains essential that these opportunities for engagement are prioritized to demonstrate our continued collective commitment to accountability and good governance.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Having a crisis communication plan in place that outlines steps to mitigating damages and communication transparently will go a long way in ensuring a better society. This is what the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is championing with the coming on board of the Nigeria Reputation Management Group. Harman Jabani takes us through the unveiling.
The journey, which started 3 years ago, is designed to be inclusive and conceived as a professional, private, secure, complementary solution aimed at strengthening and repositioning Nigeria's reputation capital as a core national asset for stronger domestic relevance and global competitiveness on a deliberate, sustainable basis through collaboration and partnership. For Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, reputation is birth. Reputation needs air to survive. Reputation is nurtured with the right character, and when reputation is created and built as an asset, it continuously managed and effectively sustained. This is why Nigerian Reputation Management Group should be Nigeria's biggest possible and core assets for investable value.
The image of Nigeria needs conscious, deliberate attention. Today's event is NIPR's robust response to the call. We have the biggest body of knowledge in Africa. NIPR is well positioned and ready to deal on this matter.
The Nigerian Reputation Management Group is designed to propagate and project a positive national reputation in order to promote our core values, principles, and beliefs as a people.
The NRMG will stand on 6 core values of ethics, professionalism, trust, communication, and ownership, while focusing on Reputation Summit, Nigeria's Reputation Day, Charter, and Champions, among others.
Our citizens have a key role to play. The image of any nation is not shaped solely by leaders, diplomats, or businesses, but also by the actions, attitudes, and behaviors of its citizens.
I urge you to remember that the future of our country lies not only in the hands of our leaders, but in our own actions. We cannot demand integrity from others if we do not hold ourselves accountable.
The NRMG is geared towards promoting Nigeria's positive image nationally and globally through strategic communication and proactive public relations engagements to protect Nigeria's reputation from negative local and international narratives. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Still on the initiative to inculcate the spirit of building a reputation for Nigerians and Nigeria by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is in line with the vision of the current administration based on the revelation by the Minister of Information and National Orientation. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris says reputation is an asset for Nigeria. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara tells us more.
Unrelenting efforts to build a nation whose citizens demonstrate acceptable standards of reputation in order to transform the country's image and socio-economic development. Nigerians from across every sector are here demonstrating commitment to a proposed template for reputation management. This groundbreaking initiative, according to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, requires the collective efforts of citizens in order to complement and fast-track the ongoing national reorientation agenda through the National Identity Project approved by the Federal Executive Council.
As you are all aware, a country's brand reputation is one of its core assets, alongside its financial and natural mineral resources. Charity, they say, begins at home. All of us at the Ministry of Information and National Orientation Agencies, especially the National Orientation Agency, is playing a pivotal role in ensuring that Nigeria reclaims its steps. Nigeria comes back to those ideals for which our founding fathers put on course for this country. I believe that we are going to turn the corner. We are already beginning to see signs of that. Reforms all over the world are extremely challenging. It is your ability to rise up to the occasion that makes the difference. I think the President is doing that with every sense of responsibility. I call on all Nigerians to support him and give him more time. Nigeria will reach its desired destination.
He was emphatic that the resilience spirit of Nigerians will add value to the proposed reputation project and want Nigerians to distinguish themselves as brand ambassadors.
Especially for the media, reporting accurately, objectively, and also being patriotic about their country.
The Nigeria Reputation Management Group logo was unveiled at the event in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Away from the unveiling, Justice Ricardo Claudio Monteiro Gonçalves has been elected as the new president of the ECOWAS Court of Justice for a 2-year term of office, following an election by the College of 5 judges of the court. Justice Ricardo succeeds Justice Edward Amoka Asante, who led the court for 6 years since assuming office on July 31, 2018. A statement by ECOWAS notes that Justice Ricardo was sworn in on Thursday, October 6, 2024. During the tenure of Asante as president, the community of justice witnessed remarkable growth and transformation in its jurisprudence, including its case management system and physical infrastructure. Justice Asante oversaw the historic relocation of the court from its former overcrowded location to its new headquarters complex in Abuja in 2003. You're watching the Network News. This is the Network News on NTA. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lopobiri has called for collaboration between the Federal Road Safety Corps and relevant agencies in the petroleum sector to enhance safety in the transportation of petroleum products. Senator Lopobiri said this when he received FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed. Lydia Sampson reports.
Senator Heineken Lopobiri emphasized government's commitment to addressing the frequent tanker explosions posing serious danger to lives and property across the country. He said proactive measures are needed to mitigate or reduce such incidents to the barest minimum. The safety of the public, the minister says, remains sacrosanct.
Our own contention at this particular time is to collaborate with you, so that you'll be able to intensify, your efforts to ensure that only, tankers or, trucks that are certified roadworthy, that should be allowed to carry these, products. We want to also, use this opportunity to also, solicit for your support in certifying the tanker drivers that drive, these trucks.
He urged the FRSC to intensify its collaboration with the Ministry of Petroleum Resources and its key regulatory agencies, including the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, in order to achieve the highest safety standards in the transportation of petroleum products. The Co-Marshal, Shehu Mohammed, commended the minister for his proactive stance on safety.
We have designed so many initiatives like the road transport safety sanitation scheme, whereby we make sure that not only tankers and trailers, all the vehicles in this country are being certified.
The minister expressed optimism that the partnership between the FRSC and petroleum sector agencies will yield positive results. He also commended the FRSC for its tireless efforts in promoting road safety policies and enhancing public safety. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And just so you know, Lydia is still on the news and she's set to give us more facts on the compressed natural gas initiative. Lydia, with more than 100 conversion centers established to aid transition to cleaner fuel alternatives. So what's next and what's more?
Thank you, Lizzie, for having me. And I must say the presidential compressed natural gas initiative has made significant progress in promoting CNG conversions across Nigeria. For now, there are over 130 conversion centers and that have been established nationwide, facilitating the transition to clean fuel. But moving on, let me show you. With over 130 centers in Nigeria, it is expected that so far, with 77 partnerships already sealed and signed with presidential compressed natural gas across 10 states. We're talking about 10 states so far, and 3 states are to come up soon before the end of the month, and they are Rivers State and Niger State and Kwara State. So the PCNG has also distributed over, let me look at it again, over 14,000 plus kits, with 34,000 kits acquired so far. Additionally, orders for 100,000 placed by the Ministry of Finance, and we believe that the CNG is on course. So the CNG has also, and government aims to partner with various companies to enhance this network, with multiple firms already collaborating under the initiative. And one other thing again is that the push for CNG conversion and broader strategy to alleviate the economic pressure is stemming from fuel subsidy removal, making it crucial for both environmental and sustainability and economic relief for citizens following the high cost of petrol after the removal of subsidy. The initiative also includes free conversion services at selected locations, further encouraging commercial vehicles and owners to switch to CNG, which is, of course, a cheaper and cleaner alternative. There are challenges. It's not all a success story. I must tell you, Elizabeth, paucity of CNG dispensing stations with only 2 reliable service stations in Abuja, and CNG queues are beginning to become visible. But when we talk about this, I wouldn't really call it a visible challenge, of course. It could be described as an evolving business platform, because CNG is supposed to be driven by the private sector, and there's no way government is going to be the one to come up with CNG add-on stations. It's usually private sector driven, and so with the evolving business stations will be coming with the evolving horizon of hope and the increased adoption of the CNG, I believe there is hope in the horizon with more dispensing stations will be coming on soon. But of course, that is where government is really wooing private sector participation, because there's nowhere that government is expected to be the ones coming up with CNG dispensing stations. Is usually the private sector, Lizzie. And so out of this challenge, hopefully, I believe there will be business opportunities, because I believe if you have money and I have money, this is something to go into, to come up with CNG dispensing stations. But on a serious note, government is collaborating the private sector, and this challenge is one, hopefully, that will be overcome.
Of course, the benefits are so enormous. Energy correspondent Lydia Samson, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Moving on, to inspire next generation of female leaders in science, technology, engineering and maths, National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, through their Presidential Implementation Committee on Technology, has celebrated 6 women engineers for their innovations. The event held in Abuja also saw presentation of grants to award recipients aimed at supporting their ongoing projects and research initiatives. Ekene Undulwe reports.
6 award recipients for the most innovative ideas emerged after an evaluation process of over 120 applications. The project, tagged Developing Engineering Leaders Through Her, organizers say is a deliberate move by the federal government to address gender imbalance in engineering, with women accounting for just 5% of Nigerian engineers.
This government, under the leadership of our president, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCON, under his renewed hope agenda, is part of what he is instructing us to do, catch them young.
So the best way for us to support women to participate in the engineering ecosystem is for us to catch them young, provide them with mentorship, give them funding, connect them to partners that will help them upscale their skill and bring out their innovative ideas into products.
Grants were presented to the awardees to the tune of each project cost estimate, in addition to other forms of support.
This project, Automatic Bambara Nut Processing Machine, it was born out of a passion to curb the stress, the drudgery involved in processing of these nuts.
This equipment is all about teaching students about digital electronics, because we see that the foreign products that we normally purchase, it's quite on the high side.
The ceremony, which is an offshoot of the International Day of the Girl Child, is already inspiring the younger generation with exhibitions to show how much they have learnt. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Still on learning, to promote science education and enhance learning experience among students, the MTN Foundation has inaugurated a newly renovated science laboratory at Government Day Science Secondary School, Gombe. Balgun Samari reports.
The newly renovated laboratory is fully equipped with modern facilities and equipment for teaching and learning of physics, chemistry, biology, and agriculture. The MTN Foundation is proud to support the development of science education in Nigeria.
Okay, I would say it has run into hundreds of millions. From what you have seen here in this secondary school, you've seen that really, the business has invested a lot in making sure that these children have the equipment for them to learn effectively.
Gombe State Government appreciates the foundation for enhancing learning experience of the students.
There is a lot of gap, in the area of science and technology teaching, and we believe with this facility we've seen here, which is almost the one you see in tertiary institutions. So we believe MTN Foundation has done a lot for us, and we will make sure that this facility is utilized fully.
The state has been the #1 state in ease of doing business. So this is a collaborative effort between the Gombe State Government and MTN Foundation. And one of the things we do is we look at our gaps and we collaborate with people who can assist us. And MCN came in handy, and they took this school. This school was chosen because of its centrality. You can see it's surrounded by so many schools which are going to benefit from this project.
Stakeholders and students are assured of the sustainability of the equipment. The projects are part of the third phase of the ongoing MTN Foundation projects in the country. Balgum Samari, MTN News.
Time to talk business, and our busy businessman, Benny Adams, is ready. Benny?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now talking business, Nigeria's headline inflation rose marginally to 3.217% in September 2024 from 3.215% in August, marking a 0.55% increase. Let's take a look at the figures and some of the factors responsible for this rise. You can see headline inflation is 32.70, like I've said earlier on, which is a plus 5.98%, which is year-on-year increase. We have actually been witnessing a reduction on month, and factors responsible are food and non-alcoholic beverages, which accounted for 16.94%. We have housing, water, electricity. We know that the bills have increased in terms of electricity bills, and food inflation on month in September we're having 2.64%, which is a decline in August 2024 to 2.37%. And looking at highest, talking about the rate for the states, highest year-on-year, we have Bauchi State coming tops, followed by Sokoto State, Jigawa. Then on green a bit, we have Delta State, Benue, Katsina, Sokoto, Taraba, Anambra, Kwara, Cross River, and Lagos has got the lowest in this order, which is quite cheering. But with the reforms being put in place and with the promises we are getting from the actors in the economy, we are going to be hopefully experiencing a downturn in this particular trend. Let's take a look at the energy market. In the energy market, we are having the U.S. crude prices fall more than 4% as Israel is not expected to strike Iran's oil industry. Down to the oil, can I have figures for the oil? U.S. crude prices fall more than 4% as Israel is not expected to strike Iran's oil industry. We've been having fluctuation in prices as a result of rising tensions. Let's look at the WTI figures. We have WTI and the Brent figures at this particular point in time. For the Brent December contract, we have, as of today, we have $74.06 per barrel, down $3.40, that is on year-on-day. And for the global benchmark, it has pulled back more than 3%. Well, promising and not promising. For the WTI, that's a West Texas Intermediate November contract, we are witnessing a $70.39 per barrel, down $3.44 year to day, while the U.S. crude oil has also fallen more than 1%. We're expecting some of these figures to get to some level of equilibrium if the tension dies down in the Middle East. And now to the Nigerian market, talking about the Nigerian equities market. The market, it's still bullish. The bullish momentum is being sustained at the close of Tuesday's trading, building on the gains recorded on Monday as buying interest continued in Aradel. But before we see the figures on Aradel, you can see the equities cap increased to 26.8 trillion. We have the value at 26.8 billion in 9,650 deals. And the volume of trade at this particular point, or at the end of trading today, is 286 million, coming to the all share index, arriving at 98,540.93 basis points. And we are seeing the appreciation at 0.33%. Not a bad idea. I'm talking about Aradel. This is the first time Aradel is coming on the third spot. At this particular point, with 25 million. On the second spot, we have Zenith Bank, 30.3 million, and Access Core, 45.9 million. Well, that is it on business today. Network News continues. But after this break, I can see Hingino John Adams is waiting for more news on the Lagos end. Hingino, it's over to you.
Thank you, Benny, the businessman.
Transiting to greener, cleaner and reliable energy mix is the way to go, and as a way of reigniting insight into opportunities abound in the sector while attracting investment, the 11th edition of the Nigeria Energy Summit holding in Lagos is creating platforms for exchange of technologies and ideas. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said sustainable green energy fits perfectly into Nigeria's quest for expansion, just as efforts are on to increase power generation capacity of the country before the end of the year. Michael Olale reports.
This is the largest marketplace of ideas and technologies when it comes to the power sector in Africa, and the goal before the Nigeria Energy Summit at this 11th edition is breaking barrier in the new energy era. For Nigeria and the African region, it is an opportunity to harness renewable energy sources in addressing deficits in generation, since power is the driver of the economy globally.
Our role in all of this is just basically to create a platform where we can bring all the suppliers, all the solutions providers, and all the manufacturers and match them with buyers. We need to get to the level where, as our population is increasing, we also increase the capacity for generation.
The Minister of Power said Nigeria holds huge potential in green energy, with 32 states having 8 hours of sunshine daily, while the construction of highways offer prospect of exploring coastal and offshore wind for power generation.
We achieve our asset expansion plan and we achieve our energy transition plan with a medium-term target of Vision 2030. By year 2030, 30% of our total energy sources should come from renewable energy.
Stakeholders here say energy is not just a necessity, but a right which requires public-private partnership to generate more.
We are driven by our belief in the potential of Nigeria as the key player in the global energy arena, and we are committed to powering that vision with innovation,
Partnership, structure, discipline, focus. These are the watchword in Genesis. It has brought us so far. We have over 150 megawatts in operation.
As part of Informal Markets Future Incubation Program, 3 shortlisted entries of the inaugural Energy S contest will present their projects at the technical seminar of the summit. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Talking women matters now, eliminating gender barriers through provision of equal opportunities remains a catalyst for Nigeria's economic development. Experts in women and girls' rights advocacy believe achieving sustainable development goals and the nation's aspirations largely depend on providing an enabling environment for women and girls to fulfill their dreams. Joel Popola has the report.
There is a popular saying that if you train a woman, you train a nation. This narrative stakeholders say is an attestation of the pivotal role women play in nation building. Nigerian women are well known in Africa for their sterling contributions in different spheres of life. But despite their impact, gender parity is still a thorny issue that has rendered many women passive when they are supposed to play a leading role.
When we are saying we are liberating ourselves and we want to get that equity that we desire, then we need to have conversations with ourselves such that we inculcate into ourselves that we are enough and that we can do something and achieve certain results. Be quiet and expect change. We cannot be quiet and expect things to be done differently. We have to begin to see ourselves as an active member of the society, because this is the only way that we can indeed cause the change that we want.
For the unwanted narrative to change, stakeholders believe government need to respect international protocols on gender parity, such as Planet 50-50, while parents should also end the stereotype from the upbringing of their children.
They are right, fighting for this space. Women are not doing enough. We have women organizations, gender organizations that are doing a lot, but when it comes to individual women, they have to come to that realization that they are not just cheerleaders. They should begin to tell their political party leaders that beyond, singing, clapping, and so on, we can contribute.
Respondents say the journey to ending gender discrimination and promoting social inclusion of women should start with women and girls coming out of their shell, developing a can-do attitude, and being in the front burner of the change they desire. In Lagos, Joel Wola, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos. Time now for some messages. The news will be back shortly.
Thanks for staying with the NTA. The federal government has inaugurated a 53 reconstituted member renegotiation committee on the Federal Government and Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU 2009 agreements, as well as other university-based unions. Olayin Kauja reports that the Minister of Education, Tahir Maman, while urging the committee to renegotiate realistic and workable terms of the 2009 agreement with other university-based unions, encouraged them to negotiate and make recommendations to reposition the Nigerian university system.
It is the determination of the government to ensure that we bring to conclusion this agreement. A lot of things have been done already by the previous committees.
And I'm so happy the minister said it, that we will start from where the other committees stop. So I want to appeal that should be the basis. And we have all the documentation. I will hand over this now to the chairman of the committee.
Chairman of the committee, who is also the Pro-Chancellor, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, Dr. Yali Ahmed, assured that the committee will discharge its responsibilities with sincerity and patriotism.
Payment of salary to the teacher in the education sector, I have argued earlier, is not a mere personal cost. It's an investment to human capital development.
The committee is expected to submit proposed draft agreements within 3 months from the date of inauguration. Gombe State Government has entered into agreement with the organized labor for the payment of 71,451 naira 15 kobo as the new minimum wage for civil servants in the state, with effect from October 2024. Zara Umar Adamu reports.
This follows agreement between the state government and the organized labor after completion of the computerized consequential adjustment table by the technical subcommittee. The organized labor sang the victory song in appreciation of the success achieved toward improving the welfare of the workforce in Gombe State.
This agreement has come to stay. I want to specifically congratulate the entire civil servant and also to urge them to reciprocate the government gesture by total commitment, loyalty, dedication and commitment to their duties.
Increase is almost 500 million on the present salary for Gombe State civil servant. So on that note, there are agreements that we have reached after 6 months. We'll come back and this time around we say 6 months is 6 months. Anything short of that, we'll write officially to them after 6 months. If we reconvene and agree on what to be increased on, those that have those pending agreements, allowances, we are going to review it at that moment for the implementation.
This could not be possible without the political will of the government, as the consequential adjustment was done within 72 hours. Zara Umar Adam, NTA News.
Confederation of African Football has officially postponed the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match day for encounter between Libya and Nigeria. Details with Badi Adeleon Sports Update. Badi.
Many thanks, Elizabeth. But now let's begin with this cheering news coming from the world of table tennis, as President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Waheed Enitan Oshodi of Nigeria on his election as president of the African Table Tennis Federation. Oshodi, the deputy president of ATTF and former Lagos State Commissioner for Youth, Sports and Social Development, was elected as the organization's elective annual general meeting on Tuesday in Addis Ababa. In a statement released by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, the President noted that Oshodi's election is a proud moment for Nigeria and also a vote of confidence for a seasoned sports administrator who has committed his time, energy and resources to develop table tennis at a grassroots level, and is sure Oshodi will bring his extensive leadership experience to elevate ATTF and the sport to the next level. Now to the botched AFCON qualifier between Libya and Nigeria. Of course, the match day for fixture of the 2025 AFCON qualifiers between Libya and Nigeria officially has been called off, and Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, has called on the Confederation of African Football to do its due diligence during the investigations. The CAF Disciplinary Committee will decide on the next line of action on the issues surrounding the fixture, and Eno has warned any decision in favor of Libya will be against all values football stands for.
Expect that to happen. We don't expect that to happen. I mean, it will be a dangerous precedent. And then football, that is regarded as a unifier, and all that, will no longer be a game of football anymore. Yes.
Now away from Nigeria, with this breaking news, as Thomas Tuchel has been reported to have signed a deal to become the new England manager on an 18-month contract with the English FA, which will start on January the 1st. The development means Lee Carsley will still remain in interim charge for next month's Nations League matches against Greece and Republic of Ireland. More details about the deal will be revealed during a press conference at Wembley on Wednesday afternoon. Back to Nigeria, the inaugural World Rowing Coaches and Umpiring Course in Nigeria is ongoing in Abuja, with participants drawn from different parts of Nigeria. The week-long course will expose budding and established coaches of the Nigeria Rowing, Canoe and Sailing Federation to the latest rules, techniques and other international practices in world rowing. The seminar, which began Sunday, 13th October, ends on Saturday, the 19th of October 2024.
The goal, to develop people for rowing and for me, especially for umpiring.
Second aim is to share the knowledge with the coach they come, and they make them more competent and very session in training.
All right, that's a bit on sports. Let's now return to Elizabeth for the conclusion of the news.
Thank you for the updates, Buddy. President Bola Tinubu condoles with the former governor of Oyo State and Otun Olubadan of Ibadan land, Rashidi Ladoja, family, associates, and the Celestial Church of Christ over the demise of the former governor's wife, Tinuade. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, President Tinubu notes the contributions of the Ladoja matriarch to humanity, affirming her strength in charitable works and advocacy for the welfare and education of women and children. President Tinubu praises Tinuade's selfless lifestyle and zeal in expanding the gospel, serving courageously in the highest decision-making body of the Celestial Church of Christ, Pastor in Council and the Women in Council for many years. And that ends the news today. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good night.